Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna walk you through the exact strategy that we use with our clients to sign up 20 to 30 new online clients every single month. Now, we're aiming for that because we build six-figure online fitness businesses here. This is exactly what we talk about in the channel. So if that's you and something you're wanting to build, this video is gonna kill it for you. Now, I'm gonna start by saying, I'm not a professional content creator. I run a business, I coach people, I have other things to do. So what you're gonna see here is the most effective content strategy that we use. It isn't the highest volume, it isn't gonna take you hours and hours and hours a week, and it isn't something that's gonna need you to have a full-on professional setup ready to go, okay? It's something that you can implement as a business owner that's doing multiple things, which is super, super important when you watch these kind of videos. Because people that give you the advice on how to get the best social media strategy are usually people that have fuck all else to do other than making content. So that out of the way, let's dive into it and talk about the different formats that we use, how often we post, and the kind of tactics that we use within those formats. So the first is short form content. Now, I'm gonna primarily talk about Instagram here just because the messaging function and the features of generating leads are so good, but you could quite as easily do this over on TikTok as well. So we're gonna post 5 or 6 times a week. Yeah, 5 or 6 times, not every single day, not twice a day, not 3 times a day like I hear some people talk about. You've got fucking a life to live. So 5 times a week. On a Monday, we're gonna post something motivational and something that gives people value, okay? So this is something that maybe breaks down the goals that they could have, or a client story, or a story about yourself, about how you went through a transformation and how you got a goal on the other side, okay? Mondays are a really good day to post something like this because it's the start of a new week and people are generally gonna be in that kind of mood to like reach for new goals and things like that. So that's why I always start with that on a Monday, just because of the psychology of the people that are watching it that day. Tuesday is gonna be a tactical education post. So this is where you're gonna share a strategy or something that you use with your clients, or a tip or a demonstration, something to do with the kind of work that you do. So being an online fitness coach, something that you could do here is how to create a meal plan that has X amount of calories or Y amount of protein, how to plan a leg day or an arm day or something along those lines. Basically anything that kind of gets into the nuts and bolts of this is how you actually get in shape. These are the things that you need to do. Wednesday, we're gonna post a social proof, okay? So that is a testimonial or a client result or a win from a client, you tell it in a different format. Wednesday is always a really good day to do this because it's bang in the middle of the week. And these are the kind of posts that are gonna get you those direct inquiries. This is where people are gonna reach out to you and say, hey, I want a result like this, can I work with you? I like putting them in the middle of the week and not at the end of the week. The reason why I don't put them at the end of the week is because if you're trying to book calls off the back of that post, it's going to end up then needing to be like Monday before people can get on a call with you if you don't work weekends. And that's just leaving it a little bit long. Whereas Wednesday, you've got time to reach out to the lead, get them booked in and close them on a Thursday or a Friday. And then they can get set up to actually start the program the Monday after. Thursday, I always either do another tactical education piece or I tell a personal story about me and the things that I'm working on. These generally get really good engagement towards the end of the week when people are winding down. If you are stuck for personal story stuff and you don't have a whole lot going on because you're working hard and you're sat in your cave doing all the things that you need to do another tactical education post because these always do well at these times too. And then Friday, people are generally winding down a little bit. It's probably not the best day to generate leads and book calls because like I said earlier, you're pushing them into next week. So I always like to go with something lighthearted, something that's maybe a little bit broader than my current niche. So let's say you work with dads that want to lose weight. You could do just more of a dad style post and things about raising kids and being a dad as opposed to something that's specifically around fitness. This is a really good day to do something that's a little bit funny or includes a lot of your personality to drive new followers in ready for the next week. That's then going to obviously start back again with Monday. And then realistically, you can take Saturday, Sunday off. You can post some personal posts of things you're up to on the weekend because these always get really good engagement anyway, but you don't have to either. And that's really the most effective posting strategy that I've used for years. I've dabbled with doing 3 times a day before. I've dabbled with doing 1 video post and 1 written post in the evening. And to be honest with you, it never performs better than just this strategy. So I always end up coming back to this strategy because it's the most effective for the time that I spend doing it. Okay, now the second format I use is email. Email marketing is something that is massively slept on by a lot of online fitness coaches. They just look at TikTok and they look at Instagram and all of their eggs go in that basket. I'm going to tell you this, if your Instagram gets shut down, what are you going to do? You're probably going to have a panic, you're going to lose all of your business, and you're going to have to start again from scratch. However, if you start building an email list, you own that data. And I know from my own experience and obviously the emails that I collect, people very rarely change email addresses, and they very rarely, if they do have a new email, lose access to the old email address. So it's a very good way to build data, and it's something that's an asset for your business. Now, to get people's email addresses, you're going to need to create things like lead magnets, and you're going to need to use stories on Instagram to drive people to those lead magnets so you can actually collect their emails. Now, if you want me to show you exactly how to do that and how to set up an email list and all the technical bits, I've got a course in my free academy that shows you exactly how to do it. The link will be in the description below, so you can click on that. It's a little bit long for this video. It'd need a lot of editing and cutting and things like that. So just join the academy. The videos are all in there, and that'll show you how to set up this process. Now, with email, I email 3 times a week, okay? If you've got a relatively small, even medium-sized list, I've got about 11,000 email subscribers at the time of filming this video. You don't want to pepper it with 2 or 3 emails a day like some larger companies can, because they have a bigger email list. They send emails to different pockets of their audience instead of just broadcasting the whole list, and they can do with the different things. So you don't need to email every single day. 3 times a week is more than enough. Now, on Monday, I do what I call an SLO email, which stands for Story, Lesson, Offer. It's basically where I tell a story about something that's happened to me or happened to a client to share something relatable and something that the reader can learn from. Then whatever the story is, I'm going to talk about the lesson that it taught me and the lesson that the reader can apply to themselves. And then I'm going to make an offer for something, whether it's DMing me for a piece of advice on something, booking a call, joining my free group, whatever it is that the next step is in your program, you can position a soft call to action here. Wednesday is always a client story or testimonial. Now here, I like to get really deep and descriptive about the emotions and what the client was going through and the things why they needed to make a change. And actually on the goal side of it, I want to talk about the differences that it's made in their life. I really want to get deep into the psychology of the transformation here, because that's what separates this from Instagram. Instagram has quite a short word count for posts like this. And also it's very video heavy as a format, which means that unless you're a great actor, you're going to struggle to get real emotion across. Writing in this format and getting deep on those issues is a way to get real emotion across, which is going to trigger people to buy. And Friday, I'm going to do one of 2 things, and I tend to alternate these on opposite Fridays. One Friday, I'm going to do a super hard call to action, okay? I'm going to go, look, I've got 3 spaces to work with people one-on-one with me next week. This is what you get. These are the goals that I work towards. These are some results from people like you. You've got 3 spots. Click the link below to book in a call, blah, 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 okay? I do that once every 2 weeks. And then the other week, I give a straight value post of something that I've been working on, something that I've seen with a client with 0 calls to action, okay? And what that does, it allows me to build an email list that's full of value, that gives people an idea of my personality and the things that are going on in my life and my interests through the story emails. But also once every 2 weeks, it gives me the opportunity for that hard offer to people that already know who I am, have been watching my content and reading my emails, and that usually gets a very, very good booking rate. Finally, I make 1 YouTube video a week. Now to do this, I do one of 2 things. I go through my highest performing posts on Instagram and then stretch them out into longer videos, get more into the weeds, get more into the tactics. This video is actually a deeper version of one that I did on Instagram about 3 weeks ago that performed really well. So use your own content in different formats if you found a topic that works really well. The other thing I do is look at other videos that are performing really well in either the same niche as me, and I put my own spin on it, or in slightly parallel niches. Say somebody did a video about something for business coaches. I could take it and recreate it for my niche, which is fitness coaches. So doing a bit of research on YouTube before you make these videos will be really, really helpful. Or like I said, just take your current high performing posts and get deeper, especially on the tactical ones. And again, with this YouTube video, I can stick it on my stories on Instagram to drive people to it. I can send it as an email for people to watch. And then in the link below of that YouTube video, I'm gonna have a link for someone to book a call with me. And like I did in this video earlier, I'm going to push to that link during some point of the video, and that's how I'm going to generate calls from there. So this system takes me about 1 day a week to produce and about 4 to 5 hours in total. And this is the highest quality, most effective content strategy that I've used and I will continue to use probably for a long time. And that's something that you can implement into your business. So there's lots of little different elements there, like how to structure the posts, what to write, like how that all looks. Again, if that's something that you need help with, my free business academy has step-by-step tutorials of everything in this, okay? What to say on the post, how to structure the post, what good post looks like and what good posts perform in the fitness market. So if you're unsure about any of this, if you don't know how to implement it, just click the link below, enter the business academy, and I'll see you there.